Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where, as usual, it's a new recording session, and, actually, the as usual there might be slightly misleading, because I'm not talking about it being the day of, because this video doesn't go up until tomorrow. I'm actually not, I'm not procrastinating for once. For once. So, what I was talking about is, as usual, I had no idea why this was destroying the waypoint itself. However, I started it up in a new session, took one look at it, and was instantly like, oh, I am a complete and total imbecile. How did I not see this? What is happening is that the origination point is itself a waypoint, and it goes through and deletes all of the child game objects, including any waypoints. So there's the problem. What we need to be doing is we need to check to see if t.gameObject.name is not equal to waypoint clone. Because it's instantiated, the clone will be automatically appended there. So that's pretty much what we need to do. However, I want to make this be perhaps a little bit less a little bit less hard-coded. So we'll do root.waypointprefab.name. And do we want to... Yeah, I think we can just concatenate this. I think it's fine. We can then just add in clone. Okay. Now, if we run this after compiling it, we should no longer have any problems with the waypoints being deleted. It wasn't deleting itself, it was being deleted. Also, Crusader Kings, your music is amazing, but a little loud. There we go. I don't know what it is, but every time you walk away from a project for a little while, and then come back when you're having a problem, you just immediately see what the problem was. It's got to get some distance, I guess. But we're going to go ahead and... No, I don't want that hex. I want to go ahead and demolish the one we just purchased, and then we will create a root. Select the root. And would you look at that? Nice. Okay. So, the next thing that we probably want to go ahead and do how do we want to go about doing it? What I was thinking is the next thing we probably want to go about doing is making it so that traveling along roads is substantially cheaper than not traveling along roads. For example, I want it to be potentially 3 times more expensive to do this than to do this. I mean, this detour is kind of unnecessary, realistically, but it would make a lot more sense to flow to merge on here and then go up like that. So, we're going to need to write a quick function here in the building hex, I believe. So let's go ahead and go into the building hex, which is here. And then we're going to need to change the G function. Well, it's not really a function right now, but we're going to... Is that not in the building hex? Where did we store that? Let's check the pathfinding. It's in the building itself. Okay, it's not in the hex. I gotcha. So, as of right now, if it's not a road, we return 1. If it is a road, we return 2. That's, really not what we're looking to do. If it is a road, we should return 1. Otherwise, we should return 3. However, if it is a road, we will need to check. Okay, so check if our entry and exit hex, I'll call it A and B hex, and B hex are on the same road. If so, return 1. Else, return 3. Otherwise, I mean, honestly, we can just do something like that. So, we can write a function here, but this is within the getter here of the entry cost. And I kind of feel like we should redo this to be an actual method. So then it would go down here. Down here. And it would be something along the lines of public void get entry cost. And then we would pass in building from building. So we pass in the building that it would be coming from. And then theoretically we should be able to do that. So then we would delete the entry cost here. And I did that by cutting it, and I'm going to paste it down here. It's going to be a little bit broken, but that's fine. So, and this should not be a void. This should, in fact, be a float. Public float get entry cost. So, if it's a road, if it is a road, then we want to do this. Otherwise, we just want to return 3. We have one too many closing braces. There we go. Okay, so I'm assuming this will have some errors. Yes, indeed. Plus from dot get entry cost. Okay, so for from.f, I think we don't worry about adding in the entry cost. We're already in that one. And that actually explains a lot because that was backwards. But anyway, we want to do building.get entry cost from current. And we want to do the same thing here. Get entry cost current. Current is our from building. So that should do the trick. Yeah, that should do it. Okay. So now we need to go back into our building and actually finish this method. So now that we know our from building, we should be able to say something along the lines of if... Okay, we need to get the list of roads. Rather, we need to get the roads that this is on. Do we have... We have a time manager. Which we can get the business from. That's really awkward. Okay. If manager.business.hexmanager... Okay, we need to figure out what roads we're on. So I think we need a list here. List int on roads equals manager.business.hexmanager. We want, what was it called? Let's see, what do we have here? Do buildings know where they are? They don't appear to. We can grab the world hex by doing something along the lines of get world hex by position. That gets the position of a world hex. Do we not have get world hex by position? We do not. Okay, well, let's do it quick. I mean, we can have that nearest hex. I mean, that's probably basically what we want to do. Yeah, let's just use get nearest hex. So get nearest hex of transform.position. Oh, I just want lowercase transform. Wait, is the building not a mono behavior? No, it's a time-aware object non-MB. So the building doesn't know where it is at all. That's interesting. So we need to get from a building, then, over to... What information does this have? Type... Oh, it does have the vector 3 position. Okay. Well, that's convenient. I thought it had to have something along those lines. Now, of course, I can't convert into a list of ints, but that's okay. For right now, I'm just going to leave it as it is as we try to figure out what all roads we're on. So, we want to get the biome hex, right? No, that just gives us the int 3. Huh. Well, it's the world hex that has the hex stores. Correct? Because that's what we really need to get to. Yeah, it's got the hex stores. So what we really need here is world hex equals manager.business.hexmanager dot get world hex by index, and we want to pass in, I believe we have the int 3 location, and that is set. So location.worldhex. That gets us our world hex. And then on roads equals world hex dot biome hexes. And we want to do location.biome hex dot okay, on road is a list of a list, correct? It's a list on road. Okay. Now, there aren't currently any errors, and I want to attempt to figure out exactly how that works before we go too much further here. So, let's go ahead and run this. And I just want to figure out how exactly this is classifying intersections right now, because it's a little weird. I was expecting it to be a list of lists. We'll see. Come on. Well, that was very quick up until it wasn't. And it continues to be slow. Excellent. Okay, we'll skip that tutorial and come on in here. And I just want to take a quick look in the building hexes at, say, this intersection right here. I want the hex itself, not the building. Okay. Interesting, interesting. And then the biome hex is there, and then the world hex would be here. So then it would be stored in here. What biome hex is this? This is biome hex... No, I don't want to move it. This is... Well, this is world hex... Or no, this is map hex 1, so biome hex 0. Okay. No, I don't want the highlight. There we go. So, we're in this biome hex here. And yeah, it literally only stores one road that it's on. Certainly intriguing. So when it's generating that, where exactly does it... Oh, it just turns it into an intersection, doesn't it? And that's how it determines... But even then... Where do we store this information? That's what we need to know. Because... Where do we snake in the roads? Here it is. So, road entries... Blah, 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 blah. On road, building hex equals I. If it's not a road, then it is I. If it is already a road type, then intersections building index dot add. It's in intersections. Right. Okay. So if we come back in here and go back into the world hex here, no, not the highlight, the world hex. There we go. Then we can come in here. And actually they don't show up in the inspector, which is not helpful. Not helpful at all. It's because it's a list of integers. So we should be able to use intersections the way I was expecting. So we would then pass in our building hex to the first list. So we would come into our building here. And we would go ahead and say something along the lines of, let's see if we're on multiple roads. Roads does not have a T in it. Okay, so bool using intersections equals we'll just do false for now. And then if world hex dot biome hexes location dot biome hex dot intersections, and this should be a capital B, location dot building hex dot count is not equal to 0. True. Using intersections equals true. Okay, there we go. So, I am going to go ahead and put a cut in here, but we're on the right track here because we now know whether we are on multiple roads or not. And from there, we'll be able to determine whether whether the from building is connected via a road to here or not. See you all next time.